Hello, BookTube, and welcome to Summer of Sport, sprawling summer-long event created by Mark at Booktime with Elvis, designed to throw emphasis on sports writing, fiction and nonfiction, a genre of writing that is really popular. Of course, sport is really popular, far more popular than reading, but it doesn't get talked about a lot on BookTube. I love BookTube events like this because they encourage me to dive deep into maybe a kind of writing that I haven't examined in depth before. This is definitely one of those. I read all the major sports books that come out in any given American publishing year. I read the new releases, a lot of the memoirs, especially the biographies, the major biographies from major houses, but I don't go any deeper into it than that, and usually only in my comfort zone sports, American sports. But I dove into Summer of Sport and was immediately derailed by the algorithm. Because the first book I read was a hockey romance. And the algorithm thought, well, you like hockey romances. How about we supply you with a lot more hockey romances, only we remove the women. We'll just make them steaming hot gay hockey romances. And I was supplied with a large number of those. All with puns about the word puck. They weren't all bad. They were interesting, but I decided after a while of seeing the algorithm suggestions every day that the only way I was ever going to break through was to just radically wrench it away from the algorithm. Just no, I'm gonna pick something totally at random. I'm not going to follow your suggestions at all. So I picked a cricket book. I went straight to the heart of our event's founder, Mark at Booktime with Elvis. I read a cricket book, and I really liked it. I'm still thinking about that book. It was really, really good. A beautiful, evocative portrait of what cricket is to ordinary people, not to multi-million-dollar brand deals. One long and beautiful summer. What a book. And I thought, when I was finished with it, I let my reading for these BookTube events pile on during the day. I let it accumulate during the day, and then I make the final decision of what I'm going to read that night. So last night, in this case. Last night was absolutely beautiful, clear and dry, just lovely. Perfect for reading with the window open. No fans, no air conditioning units, no nothing like that. Just wonderful. I let these choices simmer and percolate throughout the day, and then I decide, but I thought, with a bit of pride, well, at least I defeated the algorithm. I was wrong. The algorithm is always listening. All of our devices listen. I shut off all the listening functions on all of my devices. I'm sure they're still listening anyway. I'm sure they are. I want to understand. We always talk about botnets and malware providers that will put a piece of malware on your computer that it doesn't hurt your computer, but it does ghost your keyboard. So that malware is now aware of literally everything you type on your keyboard. It doesn't do anything about it. It doesn't hurt you. It's not ransomware. But it ghosts your computer so that it knows everything that you're typing. And we always talk about, Croatian botnets and hackers from the San Joaquin Valley and whatnot. That's Amazon. I'm sure that 10 years ago, Amazon decided to do that. To just, have you ever bought anything with Amazon? All right, well, you've downloaded our bot that doesn't do anything on your computer, but it captures literally everything that you type and that you speak. If it's on a laptop computer, I'm positive of that. I'm positive that it's wrong for us to think that it's the dark web doing that. It's our retailers that are doing that, and that must have been true. That must have happened because I no sooner read a cricket book than the algorithm found me. The book is by Anna Martin, and it is simply called Cricket. But I bet you can guess from the cover what kind of a cricket book this is. You put your hands on your hips, you stick out your tush, and suddenly you're doing the French mistake. That is not exactly how you stand at the wicket, with your oh-so-shapely butt perkily perched out like that. And I don't think that's what your umpire looks like when you stand there. No, the algorithm found me and is trying its best to pull me back in. Because this is, believe it or not, a gay cricket novel. This is the story of a young, gorgeous man named Henry, who's disillusioned with New York City. He is a city boy. He's from New York City. But he has a past in baseball. He's been trained and plays baseball well. He's left it long behind. Doesn't think it's ever going to feature in his life again. But another thing that doesn't think is going to feature in his life is his great-grandmother, who leaves him an English country house, a sprawling English country house. Now, Henry's in the mood for a change anyway. And because he's a character in a novel, that is the form that the change takes. Not a crack addiction, but a great-grandmother who leaves him an English country house. So he goes to England to see what he can see. He's an entrepreneur. He's an event planner. So he doesn't leave all of his life behind. He has developed skills. He's developed skills. And he looks at this gigantic, stately pile out in the English countryside and thinks, well, I could make something of this. This could be a really valuable venue for events. I could redo it a bit. Of course, no man is an island. He's going to need help from the whole community. And the community is a little bit xenophobic, a little bit clannish. He's not sure where to put out feelers. And one of the first feelers that he puts out is to Ryan, a quiet, shy farmer named Ryan, who is very friendly and perfectly courteous, and also gay as a morning in May, although he doesn't want to admit it to anybody. And in a novel like this, where one character, romance is the last thing on his mind, the other thing, romance is forbidden in his mind, in a novel like this, usually there's going to be a gimmick that brings the two together. And in this particular instance, the gimmick is cricket. They both they bond over cricket. It turns out that Anna Martin claims that Henry's baseball skills will stand him in good stead playing cricket. I cannot imagine how that would be true. But if you can swallow that, you can swallow the rest of this book. Because that is the main thing you have to swallow. The rest of it is just a normal romance. It's two guys overcoming cultural obstacles, personal inhibitions, in order to realize that they mean something to each other. The climactic scene is one in which they both learn at the same time that they mean something to each other. It's fairly touching. This is fairly well done, but normal. Aside from just the outward trappings of not only the stately pile that the character inherits, but also the game of cricket, which is not all that well described here. I'm not sure how essential it is that you be a cricket fan to read this book. I don't think you need to be at all. Certainly a world of difference between this and the nonfiction book that I read. It wasn't a waste of time. I did enjoy reading it, but I was rebellious the whole time because I want to be the master of the algorithm. I don't want it mastering me. So I know already, without looking, that I have probably 10 suggestions of gay cricket novels. I'm not going to read another gay cricket novel. So I'm going to have to wrench myself out of this pattern again and just deliberately fly somewhere else and see what happens. So we will see. I know for sure. I don't know what it will be. It's still very early in the day, so I don't know what my reading for the night will be. But I know one thing for sure. It will not be a gay cricket novel. I will not be doing that. I will not. I'm sure that's what the algorithm is suggesting for me. I'm going to go somewhere else. So I don't know what it is, but we will see what it is, and we will reconvene next time. So I'll wrap this up for now, and I will see you then. Thank you.